Okay, now I have the table saw set to cut off 3/4 of an inch. Alright, that looks great. I mean, it looks correct. I don't know. We're going to have to test it later. But it looks good. Next. Okay, now I'm getting ready to make my miter cuts, but first I'm going to take the vacuum cleaner and blow all this dust off, because the littlest amount of dust could easily throw off your cuts and you have a big gap, and it's all square. I figured out which side that I want my front to be, just marked it with an F. So I need to set this to 45. Okay, now I'll make my first cut. Alright, there's the bottom corner. So, my bottom needs to be 6 on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and measure. Alright, now I'm going to make my next cut. Just like that. Okay, so this side is 13 inches long. I went ahead and put an F on here as well, and I wrote a 2 and a 1 on this. So let's make that cut. Okay, now I'm going to cut this piece, but I need to put my mark on it first. On to the next piece. Alright, so now I'm going to be making my last cut on the miter saw. Okay, so on the inside, I want to take just a little bit off right here for decoration. So I'm going to try it out on this piece of scrap. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I decided to move it back just a 1/16 of an inch, and it looks even better. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to cut all 4 pieces. All the pieces turned out great. Okay, so I have my router bit set. I'm going to take a test cut with my test stick. Okay, it looks like I need to go back a little more. So what I'm doing here is making a place for the acrylic to set, the plexiglass, or real glass if you want to use that, and the Perler bead creation, and the backing, which is a piece of plywood. So that's going to take up a good amount of space. So I'm not going to try to cut all this at once, because it'll probably rip this pine up. Alright, so I moved it back a little bit. My depth looks pretty good. So now I'm going to cut the next 4 boards. Okay, so now I'm going to raise the height up and cut the rest of that material out. Okay, so now that looks really good. I'm pretty happy with this. So now I want to put a rounded kind of edge on here, maybe, on the corner. I might look into that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have this set up the way I want it. So I got my test stick sitting there. I'm going to hit it. I don't know, I don't like that. That might be way too much. So I'm going to move it back a little bit and then try it again. Alright, second pass with the test stick. Wow, how much changed it off. I might not be happy with this bit. Okay, this is the 3rd cut on the test stick. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I like that. I'll do the 4 other sticks and we'll be good to go. Alright, now I'm done. This looks really good. I just need to do some sanding to get the rough edges off. Should be good to go for gluing. Okay, so now I'm going to take my biscuit cutter and make cuts for the biscuits. Makes a very strong joint when you use a biscuit. I'm going to have to cut the biscuits because this is very small. So hopefully I don't mess up. I guess if I mess up, you'll never see this. So, there we go. Okay, so this is my idea for the biscuit. Hopefully this works. I might have to use the Copen saw to cut it out a little bit. As long as I get a piece in there. I'm going to admit something. I did make a little boo-boo right there, but it'll be okay. Okay, so I'm going to cut the rest of these. That does make you mad though. So now I'm going to put my clamps on and see what I get. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my biscuit pieces. A little bit goes a really long ways, because when you push it in there, it's going to squeeze out some of the glue. So you should spread it out. Okay, so I have all the biscuits in place. This one was acting a little funny, but I think it looks pretty good now. Okay, so while the glue dries, I'm going to go ahead and cut my plexiglass. I'm going to use a rotary tool with a cutoff bit, so hopefully this works. This is the first time I've actually done this, by the way, so yeah. That actually works pretty good, but it doesn't smell very well. Alright, let's cut the top part. Well, that looks okay. Definitely ain't perfect. Messed up right here. And then where the bit broke, it messed up right there. Okay, so I changed bits and sanded it out a little bit. And it looks decent. It's still within the size that I need. So it should work pretty good. So now I'm going to cut my backing. And hopefully I can sand this and paint it today before the sun goes completely down. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to run the sander over this just to take off some of these blemishes. I'm ready to paint this. I have Hunter Green Semi-Gloss. Yeah, that is a wonderful color. I am very happy with that. I like that a lot better than black. I let the glue dry overnight. So now I'm going to take the rotary tool and cut out the biscuits. Broke my last bit. I used my pocket knife though to cut out the last piece. Now I'm going to take the rotary tool and just clean it up on the inside with the sanding bit. Next is sanding. Okay, so sanding did lower that exactly the way I hoped it would. So now it looks pretty good. Still see a few spots that I need to touch up. I'll do that off camera. Alright, so ready for staining. I got my stain here. It is golden oak. Hopefully there's enough. There's not a whole lot in there. Should be enough for this. I should use all of this, so let's just think. Alright, so there's the front. I'm going to put on a coat of polyurethane. Here you can see I put a hanger on the back. Don't forget to pre-drill. Here it is, completely finished. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, then give me a thumbs down. Comment and subscribe.